Thank you, Stephen. Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas D'Souza.
Evening, standing
I'll be chairing the meeting today in place of President Yi. Welcome, everyone, and I'd like to do a special welcome to our guest speaker, Ken Samuel from Mission Aviation Fellowship Australia, and today we'll hear more about Ken's work and the charity that he works for. And we have another special guest, a sergeant guest this time, and I'd like to introduce you to Rick Matioso. Hope I got that right.
Perfecto, you said that well.
Rick is he's a past president and the incoming president at Fairfield City Rotary Club, and he'll be introducing us to a fun game tonight. So welcome to the club.
Thank you. Obviously, the more tickets you buy, the more chances you have the opportunity to win the Joker draw. So how this works is that we have a deck of cards with 2 jokers in it, and we shuffle the cards. If your ticket is drawn out, you have the opportunity to try to win the Joker. So what are you winning? Depending how many tickets you buy, what happens? Let's just say we sell $100 worth of tickets tonight. $50 goes into a prize pool, and the other $50 will go into however you decide to spend that money. Ours goes into general account, and we use it for donations or administration costs, anything like that. So it's just a way of raising some money for the club and have a bit of fun, and also a member has an opportunity to win some money back. We have a rule at our club: if you win the prize money.
My pleasure to introduce Ken Samuels to our club this evening. And Ken is a relationship lead at MAF Australia. Now, how many times at this point, where people are introducing you, do they make jokes about you being working for a reality TV show, a low-grade reality TV show, with young ladies with pneumatic lips and young men with terrible tattoos and budgie smugglers? How many times do they do that? I'm sure it.
Quite a few. I always say think of us as, when you get to know MAF Australia, you'll be married at first flight. So you get involved with us. Yeah.
So in fact, it stands for Mission Aviation Fellowship Australia.
That's right.
And it's a global Christian not-for-profit organisation that operates aircraft and technology services in inaccessible locations around the world, delivering essential supplies to those that need them. I'm sure you're going to tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah.
From the ridiculous to the sublime. Prior to that, Ken worked in the marketing and events management industry, and you've amassed a wealth of experience in that area and in the not-for-profit area. So, I'm just going to hand over to you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for that kind introduction. And yeah, as you know, my name is Ken, and I just want to say thank you to Thomas for extending the invitation to come share with you all. So yeah, thank you for having me for dinner. We're keen to re-establish an aviation mission. So the Lutheran mission provided the plane and the equipment, and MAF provided Harry Hartwig. But sadly, Harry flew for 5 years before he passed away, and his wife actually, Margaret Balder, she only just passed away 2 months ago. So that was a very big and honouring send-off that we did have for her. So yeah. Over the years that followed, MAF, as I mentioned, steadily grew its local operations into Arnhem Land. So yeah, getting involved with MAF for 80 years now. MAF has been transforming lives in the most isolated communities, here locally and abroad. But this mission depends on people, like the people in this room. So your involvement, whether this involves working with us, volunteering, whether it involves praying with us, fundraising, donating, or leaving a gift in your will, all makes it possible to bring life-saving medical care, clean water, as I mentioned, education and hope to those in need. So when you partner with us, you help overcome the barriers of distance and where roads end. That's where MAF begins. Where communities don't have access to any form of transport. That's where we come in. We have, it's easy to get headache tablets just down the road at Chemist Warehouse. It takes them because we have the aircraft. We enable those organisations to be able to do their work. So they would ordinarily have used some other method, but because MAF's, what we offer is pretty, our aircraft's able to get into the most remote areas where these agencies are really focused. And these are, I talk about communities, for example, in Papua New Guinea, there's about 79 communities, 79 airstrips, and all of those airstrips were actually, I wouldn't say built, were machete down by the actual community, just to allow this plane to land an 80 meters of runway, because we can carry about a ton of cargo, and just with that capability. And you can think of helicopters, you can think of all other, why not helicopters? It's absolutely the most cost-effective way still to be able to do the work that we do. There's aircraft fitted, the wings are fitted specifically with certain enablers to take off and land on very short runways. So those communities actually create that, for us. And you have a look on YouTube under MAF, and you'll see some of those landings and takeoffs. It's quite something when you see our pilots and their families, what they actually fly into.
Thank you. Any more questions? Steve?
With the current international events, how much will they affect your operation with gas prices?
Yes, there is a fuel crisis at the moment. So, fuel is our biggest operational expense. And it absolutely goes without saying, it impacts us in a big way. If one of our jerry can is kind of our what we take to try and raise funds. We use the jerry can. And what could get us 50 litres of fuel, a year ago, no longer for the same amount of funds that's needed. So what we had to do as an organisation was integrate, which makes sense because there's MAF Australia, MAF UK, MAF US. Well, the US is still doing that. They're still courting us at the moment. But under MAF International is what we're part of. MAF Australia looks after Asia Pacific and locally, and then we've got MAF UK, who looks after Africa and some other programs around the world. And then there's also MAF Indonesia and MAF Canada as well. So bringing all of those together now in the last 2 years was to cut down the costs, especially to meet the challenges of rising fuel costs being one of them, and just that it made sense to come together as one MAF globally, but with local focus. So our focus as MAF Australia is very much Arnhem Land, Northern Territory, Papua New Guinea, and Timor-Leste. Say our key programs. So, yeah, it's a battle. We are struggling right now because of fuel prices being the one big massive challenge. Just like to share a bit of insight. I actually worked in New Guinea for a year back in the 80s, and I was sent to this very remote place. Similar stories to that. The runway was that short and on top of the mountain. To take off, the locals used to hang onto the plane as the plane would rev up to, and then on the nod of the pilot, release. It was like a catapult. You'd go down the runway, fall off the edge of the mountain into a valley, and it would pick up speed eventually, and you used to hang on to your seat.
Yeah, that's exactly true story right there.
Thanks, Ken. Now, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And before we have a formal thank you, Ken and MAF has been kind enough to give the members something special to keep you all warm as we are getting into winter. So, but there are some gifts under your chair, and there's a few lucky business cards under your chair, so if you can find the business card.
If you're on my business card, you will get a beanie for winter. How do you see?
Oh, thank